Hello and welcome to yet again another video, and right off the bat I have to apologize for not uploading yesterday after the Everton, Tottenham, Cardiff, Swansea matches. The reason being I was in a motorbike accident, quite a severe one if I'm honest, and I was a bit battered and bruised yesterday, so I didn't have really the time nor the chance and the effort to make a video, so that's why I'm doing it today, the day after. So I hope you guys can understand that, and with that being said, let's kick in to the 10th week EPL review video here, and the first game, which took place at St James's Park, being Newcastle versus Chelsea, and the game finished Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. Quite an unbelievable scoreline if you ask me. And really, when I looked at the stats of this game, Jose Mourinho has a very poor record of his teams at St James's Park. In his last 3 visits there, he only has picked up 2 points going to Newcastle. So really, Newcastle and the Newcastle team have had the better of Chelsea and Mourinho, and really that showed. However, in the first half it was quite a scrappy affair, with neither team really having any clear-cut chances, both of them wanting to win the ball. But if I had to say which team began more strongly, it would have to be Chelsea. In the second half, though, Newcastle did have some opportunities, and they didn't take them, and Chelsea really came back hard at them, but in the 89th minute, Loic Remy sealed it with the second goal, and really picked up the kind of the upset of the week here, and picked up Newcastle 3 vital points. Moving on to Craven Cottage now, where Fulham took on Manchester United, and the game finished, not surprisingly, Fulham 1, Manchester United 3. Manchester United now are unbeaten in their last 4 matches, and indeed they did start well. They got all their goals came in 13 minutes span, and with that, really the game was done, and it just eased the pressure off their team. Obviously, Fulham did improve in the second half; they kind of had to, and they did score a goal, but they couldn't find what Martial was saying, that second goal, which probably could have put United under a bit more pressure. However, United really, for the most part of the game, were relatively comfortable against really what I think to be a championship relegated Fulham side. Hull City versus Sunderland next, and the game finished, not surprisingly again, Hull City 1, Sunderland 0, and this is Hull City's 4th win of the season, and it's their 3rd via the 1-0 scoreline. So Hull City, they do edge teams out in close games. However, Sunderland didn't help themselves again. They did score an own goal, and they got 2 red cards. I think not Bardsley, but Lee Catamol got redded, and I'm not sure the other player. So they're not helping themselves at the moment, Sunderland. But Hull, really, they did look lively in the opening half, and they did get better against 9 men, which, would seem not highly improbable, but they did get better, as Sunderland really had to defend 9 men on the field. However, Sunderland, even though they did have 9 players, they did frustrate Hull enough so that Hull couldn't get that second goal. But however, it didn't really matter. Hull City ran out the winners, and they're unbeaten at home in their last 5 outings. So Hull City really is a tough place to go and get a result. Moving up to Manchester now, where City took on Norwich at the Etihad Stadium, and the game finished Manchester City 7, yeah that's right, they scored 7 goals, Norwich 0. Now, it's City's biggest EPL win ever, 7-0, and really, this game has a reputation for scoring goals. As I mentioned before, the last game, Norwich at the same stadium, Norwich won 3-2, so this game does produce goals. I didn't know that City were going to produce 7 of their own, but however, in the last 4 meetings between this team, 25 goals have been scored. So really, if you see this game on your TV or on the internet or wherever you're watching it, you may want to tune in, because you are going to see goals, there's no doubt about that. However, really, the game went along the lines of City just dominated the possession. Really, Norwich didn't have much of the ball, and they were really pressed into their own final third. And really, City just scored in all the various types of ways through cutback goals, Yaya Toure free kick, Sergio Aguero great goal, and he had a hand in 4 goals. So Aguero is really in the last couple of weeks, starting to really be world-class striker here. But now, due to this, and due to their big goal-scoring advantage and their advantage that they have over other teams around them, because the scoreline and their goals scored is so high, City are now really in the title hunt. I mean, they were never out of it, but this shows that, against the weaker teams, let's just say, that they do the business and absolutely destroy them. Going to the Britannia now, where Stoke City took on Southampton, and the game was quite an interesting game, and it finished Stoke City 1, Southampton 1. Now, Southampton couldn't continue their winning form, and really it was due to, in the first minute, Asmir Begovic goal. That's right, you heard it. Asmir Begovic, the Stoke City goalkeeper, scored a goal in the blustery conditions of the Britannia and in Stoke. He launched the ball and it went right over Artur Boric's head and into the goal due to the windy conditions. I've never seen a goal like that before. The only one that comes to mind is Tim Howard's one for Everton a couple of years ago. But really, the game was kind of Southampton's to really not win. They did have better possession for large periods of the game, and this culminated in Jay Rodriguez's goal just before the break. However, in the second half, Stoke City really came out and played their high-pressing, high-tempo possession football, and Southampton didn't have that many chances. And now the Saints, Southampton, are unbeaten in their last 8 matches. However, for Stoke, not so good news. It's 7 games without a win. So Mark Hughes and the Stoke City fans next week will be hoping that they can break that little hoodoo and pick up 3 points. Moving on to the Hawthorns now, where West Bromwich Albion took on Crystal Palace, and the game finished Bromwich 2, Palace 0, and no real surprise there. West Albion, they've ended a 2-game winless run, and this is their 3rd victory in this current campaign. But really, West Bromwich Albion were really looking hungry against really weak Palace side. And in front of their home fans at the Hawthorns, they did the business. Bromwich did control the match. This culminated in both their goals. However, Palace did create chances, most dominantly on the counter-attack. But when West Albion scored their second goal, the match was over, and Palace really just looked out on their feet. They just looked not only jaded, but just really dejected. I think they know kind of where their fate is going to end up next year in the Championship. But hopefully they continue to show, a little bit of fight and heart to make sure they do go down without a fight. We'll shift our attention to London now, which took host of the next 2 games. The first one being West Ham versus Aston Villa, and the game finished West Ham 0, Aston Villa 0. The game really, even though it was a 0-0 scoreline, it did start off swiftly. Both teams did have chances at either end, and West Ham for most of the match, due to playing their 4-6-0 formation, Sam Allardyce's new crazy idea, West Ham did play well. However, Aston Villa did have probably the best chance when Benteke came the closest to scoring and hit the crossbar. But West Ham dominated Villa for large parts of the game. They pressed them right up into their final third. They did have a lot of possession around that final third of the box, but they couldn't score, and I think that's kind of West Ham's problem. It doesn't matter how much possession you have, you need to be able to do something and get past that final third and that wall of Villa defenders, who in fact this game were playing a 3-5-2 formation, if you guys didn't know that. But Villa, in all that being all said, they did deserve an away point. I think this was a really entertaining game, even though it was a 0-0 scoreline. As I said before, the second game in London took place just a little bit north, and at the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal faced Liverpool in kind of the clash of the two overachieving clubs, if you like. And the game finished Arsenal 2, Liverpool 0. Now that means that Arsenal are 5 points clear on top of the table, and they did bounce back. And this game resulted in them bouncing back from 2 home defeats in a row to Dortmund and Chelsea. Now, early on in the game, Liverpool did dictate possession rather comfortably, I have to say. They were playing their 3-5-2 formation again, Suarez and Sturridge up front. But problem with that formation is really you've only got kind of two players in the midfield, that being Gerrard and Henderson. And once Arsenal kind of got over that initial period, where Liverpool dominated, then they hit on the counter-attack, and this saw them score with Santi Cazorla. And after that, Arsenal then moved on after the first half and started dominating in the second half. However, at half-time, Liverpool did change formation. They went back to a 4-4-2, and after that, Arsenal really looked comfortable, and Liverpool couldn't deal with the speed of play from Arsenal. When Arsenal picked up the ball, usually from midfield, nabbing and robbing the likes of Lucas Leiva and Steven Gerrard, their really speed of play and how quickly they moved the ball in transition was absolutely phenomenal. And Arsenal did deserve the victory, and I think this game kind of shows to the naysayers that yes, Liverpool are a good team, but they do have their limitations when they're versing, maybe the teams that are just a little bit above them in the pecking order. However, a highly entertaining game, and either team will be there come the end of the season. Going on to Goodison Park, where Everton took on Tottenham Hotspur, and the game finished Everton 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Tottenham did control the first half, and really didn't see any kind of chances. Soldado didn't get a penalty, didn't have his favourite penalty spot kick. But in saying that, Everton did start the second half a lot brighter, that because Ross Barkley was introduced, and they did create a few chances. However, they missed, both teams really missed a hell of a lot of opportunities. And that being said, it was an even game between two competitive teams. I'm sure either team would have liked to get the 3 points. For Everton, to win at home and stay up near the top 4, and for Tottenham really to press their intentions and move closer to their rivals and that first place. But that being said, I think both teams will be relatively pleased with a point apiece. The final game took place in Wales, where the two Welsh sides took on each other, and it was Cardiff versus Swansea City, and the game ended Cardiff 1, Swansea 0. Sorry, the Swansea fans, but looks like the Cardiff fans will be very happy for the next coming weeks, or until you guys play again. However, Cardiff really in this game were very valiant. Stephen Colker was the one that scored the goal, and in fact, he did score against his former club, so really rubbing salt into the wounds there. Swansea did start bright though. Their passing accuracy was absolutely impeccable. Their link-up play with Michu and the likes of De Guzman and Shelvey was really, really superb. But again, they missed their opportunities, and it's okay for Swansea to have, the possession, but they kind of have to do something with it, They can't be playing around the midfield. They have to be near that final third and breaking down Cardiff's defence. And to be honest, they didn't really do that. And that's why they kind of lost the game here. And Cardiff were very happy. Their fans were absolutely jubilant. And as I said, for right now, or until these two teams next play each other, Cardiff City do have the bragging rights. So that was my wrap-up of the 10th week. Another crazy week there in the English Premier League, and it's only going to get better. Apart from that, I'll be talking to you guys very soon in the next couple of days with my preview video of the next week. But like I always say, I hope your team won, and wherever they sit on the table, I hope they continue to increase their progress and move higher and higher. And with that, I'll be bidding you guys a farewell. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.